As we approached this quaint little cottage or house at the bottom of this miles deep pit in the ground, seeing all the greenery, the animals, the picturesque view that expanded out for hundreds of feet in every direction. Some tiny little slice of paradise under the ground, pulling up to this quaint little brick home, a chimney out of the top of it, billowing a small amount of smoke. The whole thing looking clean and tidy, windows with garden plants in them, a white frickin' picket fence, and a gravel driveway leading right up to it. The guy in the beat-up rust bucket pulled to a stop outside, and I pulled up right behind him. I have to say, my expectations have been completely shattered. I don't know what the hell to think of this. None of it makes any sense. Why the hell does anyone live down here and still have all of this? How does he do it? Where in the hell does this sunlight come from? What kind of programmer is this guy to live in a place like this? As the messenger hopped out of his vehicle, coming towards us, still with a big grin on his face, like the happiest day of his life. "Okay, you're here," he said, looking over towards the small brick house. "This is where the doc lives. There's no doubt he knows we're here, so if we just give it a second, he'll be out." And just as he was saying it, I heard the twisting of the doorknob of that perfectly maintained white front door open up, and out walked an individual that, quite frankly, once again defied all my expectations of what I was going to see. He appeared to be an older man, probably somewhere in his late 40s, maybe early 50s, a snaggletooth smile on his face, wearing what appeared to be a suit, some pristine high-class tuxedo, complete with a red business tie, freaking dovetails in the back, an English-style hat, and a long black cane with a golden handle and what looked like freaking gems in it. This guy looked like he stepped right out of an old-timey movie, one of those ones that was transferred from the black and white era of movies. It was crazy. Yet there he was, just grinning this massive, toothy, snaggletooth grin at us. "Well, it looks like you finally arrived. I have to say, Jax, you really took your time on this. It's kind of a pain in my ass. But never mind, you're here now. Welcome, welcome. Come in, please." "So, this is the end of our deal, right? I fulfilled the arrangement? You through with me?" "Oh, yes, you fulfilled your end of the arrangement quite nicely. You're free to go. Your favor has been repaid. Your debt is cleared, and you're a free man. Go, be joyous. Just do it somewhere the hell else." "Fuck yeah!" the guy with the green hair shouted. "I'm fucking out of here," he said, sprinting for his vehicle, hopping in, turning the key as it sputtered to life, billowing a small amount of black smoke out of the tailpipe as he peeled off in the other direction, leaving as quickly as he possibly could. Well, I'm going to be sad not to receive his visits anymore. His dour inclination always reminded me that things can always be worse," the man said as he peered off at us, smiling in our direction. That clean-cut suit of his, the whole thing having a pinstripe pattern to it, white pinstripes and a black suit, a cane, this freaking house. Who the fuck is this guy? Most definitely doesn't fit what I'd expect from any programmer. Is this deal legit? Could this guy even program anything? I thought to myself, staring at him. Oh, Emily, you're looking ravishing today. How are things? Have you settled that discrepancy with your brother yet? How the hell do you... What the fuck? Emily shouted. How do you know about me? Oh, don't worry about it. I have a penchant for information. And I can get it just about anywhere. You'd be surprised the rabbit holes I've been down. He said, chuckling, cackling like a hyena. What the hell is with this guy? He knew our names? He knows about Emily's brother? And despite my expectation that he was gonna think that he got the right people but got the wrong ones instead, even after seeing us, he seems certain that we're the people he was looking for, overjoyed about it, even cutting his little lackey loose. Nothing about this situation made any sense. What the hell is with this guy? Oh, well, don't be a stranger, you two. Come on in. I have a fresh pot of tea made. We can sit down, have a lovely little chat, talk over business. It is my favorite subject, after all. And that's what you're here for, aren't you? You need something. I think you'll find that regardless of what it is you need, I'm the man who can fulfill that desire. Give you what you want. We can, in fact, cut a deal, Jax. That is, if you're willing to pay the price. Nothing comes for free, young man. So, if you want your heart's desire sated, then I invite you. Step in, have a cup of tea, and let's get down to brass tacks, he said, slowly stepping towards that white picket fence and opening the door, raising his hand and gesturing towards the small house. Holy shit, this guy is creepy. He makes me feel like I'm talking to a supervillain from an old comic book. No, maybe a villain from even farther back than that. Something about this guy makes me feel like a few hundred years ago, he'd be the individual tying some woman to train tracks and laughing maniacally while someone's on the way to rescue her. Or some old-timey cartoon, like he should have a long mustache twirled at the end that he can wind maniacally while he plots his dastardly plans. Damn it, what the hell did I get myself into? But at this point, there's no real point in turning around. I still needed a programmer, and batshit crazy or not, they said this guy fit the bill. If he wasn't a programmer, I could always turn around and get the hell out of here. But I needed to find out. There was no other choice. The only direction that can be moved in is forward. So, questioning everything, I began to make my way towards that small house in that green clearing, stepping past the white picket fence and that creepy-ass guy's smiling face. Emily followed closely behind me. She looked like she was just as weirded out by the situation as me. The man in the pinstripe suit simply smiled and followed behind us as we walked towards the little house. We opened the door and began to walk in. And as we did, the environment inside, not surprisingly at all, fit the aesthetic perfectly. The whole thing was cleaned immaculately and had a classic sort of feel to it. Once again, like some very old edition of Home and Gardens magazine. A picturesque little fireplace, quaint red sofas and chairs, and what appeared to be a kitchen table with a steaming pot of tea set on it, surrounded by 4 chairs, ready and waiting to be filled.